Good evening, friends. Welcome to the India Power Talk. India Power Talk is a knowledge sharing initiative. We invite international thought leaders and domain experts to share their insights, experiences, and strategies related to business and the economy. The result is an easily accessible digital source of knowledge that benefits not only Indian entrepreneurs and policymakers, but also international businesses, investors, and strategic partners who have invested in or intend to invest in India. Our speakers include entrepreneurs, economists, professors, investment bankers, inventors, scientists, lawyers, chartered accountants, and other senior professionals with experience in diverse sectors. Today, we will talk about trade between India and the US. The United States and India have a strong tradition of bilateral commerce. Not only do the two countries' economies complement one another, but there is also a high level of trust and friendship. US business community has always appreciated India as the hub for the world-class technology and software development. In addition, India's growing middle class represents attractive and growing consumer base. As the world emerges from the COVID-19 pandemic, which we all hope will happen in the foreseeable future, many economists predict a strong recovery. US Indian commerce can play a huge role contributing to a surge in both countries' economies and benefiting the world economy as well. How can we set the stage for the recovery to maximize positive effects? To talk about US India commerce and how best to support it, we have a guest who is perfectly qualified to share her expert views. Dr. Purnima Voria, founder and CEO of the National US India Chamber of Commerce, with its global headquarters in Denver, Colorado, from where it serves all the 50 states of US, and its Asian headquarters is in Jaipur, Rajasthan, India. NUICC's mission is to promote bilateral trade and investments between the United States and India and other parts of the globe. NUICC serves the small, medium, and large corporations with government and business relationships that results in business deals. Dr. Voria has been a national advisor to the United States Secretary of Commerce for MBDA, a US federal agency to shape future policies and programs that set a foundation for growth and policy making for 8 million minority MSMEs of the US, a $1 trillion economy of the United States. NUICC helps businesses with world-class market research, trade events that helps them market their products and services to qualified buyers and distributors, identifies a roadmap for businesses, provide legal, taxation, and regulatory help, and offers in-company training workshops. Dr. Voria is a renowned international speaker for global events, including World Economic Forum in Davos, opening speaker on trade and investments for Commonwealth Games, World Business Summit in Korea, 500 Global CEOs Forum in China, Global Entrepreneurship Summit in 2017 held in Hyderabad, to name a few. Last week, she led and moderated a session on global water crisis. Dr. Voria served on President George W. Bush's 2005 Presidential Commission and was awarded a Congressional Medal of Distinction for her outstanding leadership in business and contribution to the United States economy. Also in 2005, the Wall Street Journal honored her as a Businesswoman of the Year. Most importantly, Dr. Voria is a recipient of SDG 16 Sustainable Development Goals in the United Nations. Dr. Voria, welcome to India Power Talk. And thank you for taking time to speak with me. This being the International Women's Day, it is a special honor to have a recipient of the Businesswoman of the Year award as a guest. May I request you, Dr. Voria, to begin by talking about the National US India Chamber of Commerce and how you came to found it.
First of all, let me thank you. And it's an honor for me to represent all the women worldwide by being on your show today, the India Power Talk. It is indeed a very powerful show as you have created only a few months ago or a year or so that I know. And you have made continuous strides in bringing the right people to help India as well as US. So thank you for that. Um, I feel that National US India Chamber of Commerce was a baby born by the wish of the senators and congressmen, mayors and business leaders in the United States. But the most important person I owe this to is Vice President of India, Shri late Bhairu Singh Ji Shekhawat Sahab. He inspired me, encouraged me, and gave me his blessings because I went to him and I said, Papa, I love both the nations very much. And I want to bridge the gap between the two. And the two ways I know of is by improving international relations, and the second is economic development between the two nations. So this is what prompted to the birth of National US India Chamber of Commerce in 2005. And in 2 months, our first deal was $1 million deal.
Wow.
And so that really was a very encouraging thing. What was the reason besides the leaders telling me to do this? The second reason was I live in Denver, Colorado, which is peaceful Kashmir of United States, as I call it. And what happened was I was seeing in Denver Post, which was a very prominent newspaper here, and everything was written negative about India, which is outsourcing, taking our jobs away. IT was a big deal because, as you know, in 2000, we had Y2K. And because of that, there were so many software engineers. And it seemed like because software engineers were doing what needed to be done here, it was seen as a negative thing, like people are taking US jobs away. And everything was negative, outsourcing and so forth. So feel very bad when anything negative comes. I don't want India's image to be like World Vision, pay 665, third world country, and so forth. I see India as incredible India, a royal India coming from Rajasthan. So that is the reason I wanted to show India through my eyes and the business opportunities because we were only talking about nuclear deal at the time. And US India business opportunities, as we know today, was non-existing at that time. So I thought of creating something by which I'll create the right image and right international relationship between US and India. And at the same time, I would also grow the US India business opportunities. So that is why I think it was a need based organization, is what everybody told me. And whoever I talked, which was 47 who is who of the United States, said, how can we help you? And I said, come on my board and give it the credibility a new organization needs. And all 47 of them are on the board and also good people like yourself are also from India, and that is what makes National US India Chamber of Commerce who we are today.
Great.
And I'm sure that we are going to talk more, but basically it was just to fill the gap, just to bridge the gap between the relations as well as economic development. And Indian business community always wants to connect themselves with US, I know, in the world. If there is any country, if you ask them on their wish list, they would say, I want to go to US. And that is what I hear all the time. So I feel like they want to share their business plans and they want to come to United States, and also on the other hand they want an organization which is headquartered in the United States so that they have someone that they can trust, that this person is not going to screw us and forgive my French, but she will guide us to the right path. And if I can't do it, I will not take a company under my wings. So I think it's the credibility, the organizations' trust that they built is what led to the emergence of NUICC. It was a need-based organization. Thank you.
As I said, earlier, I must really compliment you for the work that you have done, and particularly, I know, and you'll agree with me, coming from a place like Rajasthan, being a woman going ahead in US and setting up this kind of institution and acting as a bridge between India and US, it's an incredible work, Dr. Voria, that you have done. And we must, it is a commendable job, I must say, and I'm sure it will be a truly inspirational to many young women who will watch this interview of yours over a period of time. Uh, I must say, as I said, your journey is truly inspirational, and we all are proud of your efforts and your hard work. Uh,
Thank you. I think it's a passion for me and it's not a business. And
Absolutely,
my passion became my business, actually.
absolutely,
And when you can evoke passion in other people about your own passion, that's what makes it, successful business.
absolutely, absolutely. Well said. So, as mentioned in the introduction, commerce between India and US is a strong and has a great future potential. When the world economy begins to bounce back from the downturn caused by the pandemic, in which sectors do you see the greatest growth potential between India and American commerce?
Oh boy, yeah, you really asked me the very question I love to chat about because opportunities are abound between United States and India. And India is going to lead the 21st century. I have no doubt about it. When you say what opportunities, if you have seen our Prime Minister, who is such an able leader, and I'm a big fan of his, has created these opportunities for India, and the image in India for the world has gone surpassed. India's ranking has been uplifted in a very big magnitude of numbers, and we got the temporary seat in the United Nations. But Prime Minister of India said that AI opportunities $883 million by 2023, I believe. So, artificial intelligence is going to lead the way. So, when you talk about opportunities, there are defense and aerospace manufacturing opportunity. Our chamber did that with Minister Shripad Nayakji, the Minister of State, and
Yes,
brought drone technologies. We brought companies that have all these fancy, all new high tech technologies to help India manufacture the defense products in India, make guns in India. And I think that is one of the needs of India. So India has fortunately opened a lot of doors for us, and
yes.
that is the reason these opportunities are emerging. Besides that, as you have just seen, one of the ladies did something incredible last week with the NASA, and you saw that President Biden said this, and he said Indians are taking away United States. So hats off to India. You know, lot of respect Indians have received in United States and the credibility and the trust because in Pentagon or in White House, any foreigner would not be allowed. But we are now not seen as foreigners. We are seen as one of the credible citizens of United States and top 5% in the nation. So with defense and water, you know that water and waste management is a need of India globally. It's a global crisis. We just did, as you mentioned, with Minister Gajendra Singh Ji Shekhawat.
Mhm.
I think that was incredible. It was a global conference, WWM 2021, and it was led by the minister himself.
I see.
My wish for the minister is because this is a global crisis, he should step up to the plate and lead the world, just like Harshvardhan Singh ji, our
Absolutely.
minister for health, is leading the WHO as the chairman of WHO. I would like to see our water resource minister lead the world in this global water crisis we all are facing. So that's another opportunity. Auto industry is another one. India can is already manufacturing a lot of auto parts, but I think electric vehicles, battery,
Yes.
there is wise, stations, charging stations, you name it, and every city can become smart city with all these. So 100 smart cities of India is just a little drop in the ocean. We can do a lot more smart cities all over India, thanks to our incredible Infrastructure Minister Gadkariji and MSME Minister. I think all this will come into this will not be my dream alone. I think it's execution of this with our able leaders, the 31 leaders in Modi ji's cabinet, is going to lead are going to lead India where it needs to go. With that, manufacturing, of course, of goods, because United States want partners in India, and India wants to make it in India. So technology transfer, for that reason, is an opportunity. And security, as you know, cyber security, we are very good in all this. So, you see so many hackathons and whatnot, and you have seen that a lot of multinationals were hacked, including federal agencies of United States were hacked. This is a serious concern. I think India can step up to the plate and help with this cybersecurity and so forth. And I think medical equipment. I mean, India can really import a lot of medical equipment and then also start manufacturing. I think we have opportunities that we didn't even think about now. And as the 21st century is evolving itself with the fourth industrial revolution and fifth industrial revolution, the India's best thing is the relationship. So it's very important that with these opportunities, relationship is going to be a very important key thing, which is the fifth industrial revolution, where we talk about business with impact and humanitarian touch to business.
I see. Great. No, outstanding insight, I must say. And what you say is absolutely right. In fact, our Prime Minister, to my mind, is the only global leader who has actually, as soon as he assumed power in 2014, the first thing what he did was to improve the ease of doing business, the ranking of ease of doing business. I don't think
Yes.
so. Any global leader for has really worked so seriously to improve their country's ranking, and he has been constantly asking the states, the local administration to keep on improving the ease of doing business. I think that's really incredible, and we really owe a lot of thanks to our prime minister and the entire team.
Absolutely. I also think that when you talk about opportunities, Nitin, I feel like promotion of experts from India, the first priority of Indian Prime Minister, the schemes of one district, one product, ODOP, and
Yes,
converting districts into export hubs, DEH, and import substitution are most popular and important in India. The whole export infrastructure, institutional and physical, have been developed even at the district level at this present time,
yes,
from what I'm hearing. And district export promotion committees have been set up. I know from first hand from Rajasthan, I think my friend PR Sharma is leading, and he is the one of the Rajasthan export industry expert. And they have been formed, and action plans at district level have
right.
been prepared. Similarly, state and national export strategies have also been prepared. This is the first time in India this initiative have been taken up right at the grassroots level, just like you said, Nitin. And the Indian products are being patented, tested, and R&D infrastructure is being developed. And the US government also must make strategies to get benefits out of this. And I think they are. There are policy changes behind the closed doors that is being
Absolutely.
talked about. So I think that's my take on that.
Great. Let's go, Dr. Voria, let's go a little deeper into this. Now, we know that there is potential for US companies. So, what would be your very top, maybe one or two key advice would you give to the American players looking to enter Indian market?
First of all, there are a lot of things American companies must do when they are embarking into any country, much less India. India, they have an advantage of because India has English as their language. So that is the first thing I feel that very beneficial to US companies. They must, first of all, do their due diligence, find the right partners. I feel that they really need to mm, mm, consult with somebody that they can trust. And usually they come to us because we are a resource hub for them. And they ask us to help them do the due diligence, find the right partners, set up all the appointments, do the trade mission to India with them. And when they go to India, they go to see they go to see the Taj Mahal and then go to a business office in India, sign the contract, and be out of India with a great feeling that they achieve what they wanted to achieve. So, and they should a business should before they even think of India should discuss the pro and cons of if
Absolutely.
India is a good market for them. That's one thing, and go to the person who can facilitate those
Yeah,
connections. So
absolutely.
that's the second thing I would say, that attend the programs that are put by our chamber events. We always have our events at the Ritz-Carlton, and we want to educate people before they go on to India. If they want to do is an energy company, and they want to go to India, I would like to tell them everything they need to know about the grids and about all the solar, wind, geothermal, you name it, before they even think of India. Is there a need for their product in India? And if yes, what is the need? For example, I'll tell you the all the windmills. Now, India has windmills in Rajasthan, I know, but they say that there is so much mud in Rajasthan, so much sand in Rajasthan that the wind blows, there is a sandstorm. They don't have means to clean it. So find out what the
Absolutely.
problems of India are and then provide solutions and get the education and talk to an expert. Just don't go to someone in your office who's an IT guy. I
Hmm,
have seen major companies make this mistake. And
hmm.
right here in Denver, Colorado, two of the companies, and they went to the IT guy and said, and we want to go to India. And he gets excited because that means he's going to get 6 months contract to go to India for him to be in a foreign country. So more money for him. But is he a business person? An IT person maybe can help, but not really. They have to come to people like us and you and I to really embark into India markets. Just because somebody is Indian doesn't mean they can help you with your needs as a corporation. I've seen companies spend a lot of money, go 5 times to India, and they tell me, you guys are so hospitable, and you guys always treat you great food, great ambience, great, you invite us to homes and whatnot. But, that is not the only thing. The bottom line is that they have to understand that if the things don't match, India is not going to sign a contract. And they just take a contract and think once they go to India, a contract will be signed. It doesn't happen that easily. It takes
Absolutely.
time. So that's what I would
Great.
like to say.
Okay, let me that's a very insightful and experienced advice, I would say, Dr. Voria. Let me turn, let me look at the other way around. What do you think Indian companies need to understand about the US market to succeed, and what advice would you give to the Indian companies who wish to establish offices in US?
I would give the very same advice to them as well. Go to somebody who knows what they're doing. For example, I've been here in United States for 45 years. I know the cultural nuances. I know what works, what doesn't work. And Americans don't care about building relationships. They'll most of the time never invite you to home, never tell you about their wife, their children, and whatnot. I always share this. I have three jewels, my three daughters. One of them is a breast cancer specialist. She's Dr. Pooja Voria. My second daughter is in a very men-oriented, company, which is Liberty Oil, which is an oil and gas company. Unheard of women working in such fields. My third daughter is with IBM, and you interviewed her, and she is dealing with a 350 people team and including India. So she has a global team because she is the director of global digital sales and responsible for almost $5 billion sale of IBM. So when you are uh, coming, come to the person, not the IT guy who's your relative, and say, "Ki, I want to come to US, but how can I do this?" Wrong approach. You must know, do the due diligence, find the right partners before you come to US. Many people just come and then nothing happens, and they go very disappointed and they say that, "Oh, there's nothing that can happen with US." That's not right because you have not done your due diligence, you didn't find the right partners, you didn't go to the right person. Be ready to pay a consultant for what you want to do in India. Please don't tell them. I get
Absolutely.
daily calls, hundreds of calls. We will give you a cha percentage, pretty much, but they are not ready to pay a consultant because in India we have a lot of Gyan Chandji and we get a lot of consultancy free. So people are not willing to pay. Uh, and I'm being very down to earth when I say that because I know my country. I love my country, my motherland, as well as I love
No,
my
no, I'll tell
homeland.
you, these things may sound trivial and may sound sometimes silly, but I am telling you from a person who has worked for 45 years in US, it coming from you is very important. Many of us, we may know, but re-emphasizing, restating the obvious is sometimes helps to my mind. While
You see,
discussing,
we have as I'm sorry,
please.
we have as NUICC done a lot of homework. in India as well as in the US. We do feasibility studies and so forth. The general awareness about US market and marketing
Absolutely.
is essential for Indian companies to do business with the US. They already inked the MOUs with the Indian Trade and Industry Organization, business delegations meets the help. Recently we organized series of webinars in this COVID-19. For almost a year, we have used the platform of webinars to educate people, and we actually did it cost free because people in COVID, they need to not only sustain their business during COVID, but they also need to revive it.
Absolutely.
To us, we felt like as people are distributing masks, as people are distributing their hand sanitizers, we are distributing knowledge to our partners so that they don't feel like they have nobody. We are trying to handhold people through the webinars, educate them, and inspire them, and let them think post COVID-19. I think we are going to be soon very past that. I would ask the business, are you prepared for being a COVIDpreneur that comes out of this in flying colors and not only sustain but grow your business?
Dr. Voria, what comes out very strongly from you is not only the business advice, but also a lot of practical and cultural advice or cultural insights that you have shared with us today. Now, the cultures of India and US are quite different. Okay.
Mhm.
Of course, both of us are very big and diverse countries, so it's difficult to make generalizations, I would say. In your work with companies seeking to cooperate, what cultural issues you have experienced particularly, and how do you think can be best overcome? Just very strong one or two good points for both the companies from US and India.
I think you have to be bold and beautiful when you are dealing with American companies. Most of the time, I notice when I come to India, when I'm talking to people, Nathan, people don't look at me in the eyes because that's our Indian culture. It's seen as flirtation. So people tend to look here and there, and I have hard time because I faced the same thing when I came to United States. When I'm looking down and talking to people, because I'm a married woman, I have to, keep my dignity and sanity at the same time, do business with people, corporations, and people would say, Purnima, look me into my eyes. If you don't do that, I cannot trust you. So please look me into the eye so I can believe everything you are saying and I can trust you. So complete opposite in both the countries. Here in
Absolutely.
India, people are not looking at me even today. When I go to India, I have to tell people, it's okay. You can look me into the eyes and talk to me because again, I can't trust you unless I see that in your
Correct.
eyes. And
Absolutely.
I had to do the same thing with United States.
We have covered business, we have covered inbound and outbound investments in India and US. Now, let me turn to again your attention to the International Women's Day. Uh, there is a large body of research showing that female business leaders have very strong properties and success rates. But in both India and the US, girls and young women are all too often discouraged from entering business.
Mhm.
uh, what according to you can the societies do to improve that situation?
Number one, to US people, I would say, get used to the woman in a sari. To Indian people, I say, take women seriously because we spent a lot of years earning the credibility that we have. Because many countries in the world are male dominant countries, and they think that women need to be subservient to them. Not today. At least this woman is not subservient to women by any means. I am not subservient. Rather, it's the other way around. Sometimes I have to face that and feel threatened by my presence, and not because I don't smile or I threaten them, but it's just that we are not used to seeing someone doing the work that I'm doing. I've worked in United Nations for as their PR and media chair for many, many years. Shashi Tharoor was there at the time. We were good friends. So there is a lot of challenges that you're hearing. I don't like to be seen as a victim of anything. Look at the United Nations theme right now, gender inequality,
Correct.
less percentage of women in leadership roles. To me, I see these as an opportunity. to women of India and United States, or globally, I would say, let's not portray ourselves as victims of circumstances or time or place or workplace. Uh, let's not talk about gender. We can talk about gender inequality. We can talk about percentage of leadership roles need to increase. We should talk about disparity among colored people. Good to talk about it, good to always keep those things in the news, but don't paralyze ourselves. That's what is my message to the women is, please don't paralyze yourself. I think should they change the paralyzed situation to a purposeful situation. Let's create a purpose in life and
Absolutely.
let's lead ourselves because no one can do it for you, only you can. So that's my message to the women. From
What would
paralysis, we should be a person of purpose. So
purpose?
paralysis to purpose should be our motto.
Wonderful. Let me, I'm really, though my questions are over, but I would like to still ask you one last question, Dr. Voria, is what is your boldest vision?
That is, to me, boldest vision to me is believe in yourself. Be yourself, as I said before. Persevere. Go and go very bold with your dreams. Uh, as Walt Disney said, if you can dream it, you can do
You
it.
can do it.
There is nothing a woman cannot do. हमको लक्ष्मियों को या औरतों को सौंदर्य की उड़ान नहीं उड़ के हमें मस्तिष्क की उड़ान उड़नी है. यही सोच के हमको 21st सेंचुरी में आगे बढ़ना चाहिए.
That's great message. That's great. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. And with that, I thank you for inviting me on this International Women's Day and this opportunity for me, hopefully, will aspire women to reach new heights and
Absolutely.
also inspire them to go for your dreams. This is my story. What is yours? Think about it.
Absolutely. Dr. Purnima Voria, really many thanks for your valuable time and insights. It was pleasure talking to you. I would like to thank your organization, NUICC, the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, as well as Indian Chamber of Commerce, and the LawSICO India SME Accelerator Network. Let me conclude with a humble prayer to the Almighty to bestow mankind with the right spirit to fight the coronavirus and help restore peace, prosperity, and well being. Thank you very much, Doctor.